So what do you guys want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Maybe shoot a podcast, I guess, since we're here.
All right.
All right. Hey guys, you know who it is. It's Pej the Maniac. Follow me, why won't you? It's episode 81. As many points as Kobe scored against Toronto. I have episodes. So, and episode 81 is a good one. It's a great one because we got 2018's best comic of Sacramento in the other room, his room, with his brown couch and really cool hair. Stephen Ferris. What's up, man?
Thank you. Not too much. Just working and took a 3:00 lunch break to be on the show here. So
Thanks, buddy. Thank you for having to look at me for your lunch break. It is 3:00, but when you guys are hearing this, it's a Tuesday or later. So, yeah,
okay.
Yeah. The magic is revealed. Everyone knows already.
Yeah.
Dude, so let's talk about it, man. That open that I gave, that's Steven's signature line. It's also his website. whatdoyouguyswannado.com. Check him out. You want to plug away your socials, or you're not into that stuff?
No, I have those. It's also pretty much anywhere. It's at What Do You Guys Want to Do, except for Twitter, which I don't use so much. I haven't really been on TikTok too much either. Got to get back on there. But Twitter, they won't let you use a name that long, so I had to use. It's just what do you, the letter U, want to do.
Got it. When did you come up with this amazing question? Because it's hilarious, especially coming from you. So
I think it was sometime in 2008.
wow. Wow, you've been in comedy for a minute, man. How long you been a comic now?
About 18 years.
Wow, man. I'm soaking it up. Guys, Stephen Ferris, he's a Sacramento comic, but he goes to the Bay, he goes to the San Francisco Punchline frequently. Have you been anywhere else? Have you done, you went across the country at one point. Did you try to do comedy during that time?
Well, that was back in 2009, and it was really just to see the country more than anything else, but I did a little bit of comedy on it.
What are some highlights that you'd like to share from your comedy career?
Highlights from my comedy career. Gosh, I don't know. It all just kind of blurs together.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I got to headline at the Punchline in Sacramento in 2014. That was pretty cool.
Wow. That's a great club. How was that? How did you feel going into that? What was your feelings? Who was also on the mic with you at that time?
Well, yeah. Who else did we have on that one? I know we had Jacqueline Wyand was on that show. Robert Berry put the whole thing together.
Robert is cool.
Yeah, a guy named Michael OConnell, I think, was on the show, and he's since passed away. But he was a pretty cool guy, in a wheelchair. And I don't remember what he had, but it finally took him out. But he was a really cool guy. Everybody really liked him. So
man, I wish I knew him. I wish I met him. But
yeah.
May he rest easy.
Yeah.
But Man, we've been losing a lot of comics recently.
Have we?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been seeing on Twitter where
Oh, the famous ones, yeah.
yeah,
Norm and
right, yeah, Norm Macdonald. One comes to mind. There's a bunch, but man, one thing that teaches me, man, is just love, man. Love people, man. Love everybody. Love family, love friends. Tell people you love them. It's not lame to do that. Just you know what I mean? Like
we
it's
we've never been like really big on that in my family. Sometimes I'll do it as a joke to piss my mom off.
I,
But
I get
otherwise,
it. Listen,
we've just never.
dude, I get it. I'm the same. Like we're very on the surface too with my family. You probably heard some of my jokes about my mom. I'm more afraid of her than my dad because she's like kind of gangster.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, she like her love is just, like she'll do it right off the bat, get it out the way, and then it's turns to criticism. Like, so what have you been doing? Like, what?
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, though, seriously, like, however, whatever chemistry you have with your family, like, just show them, man, because you don't know what when your number's called. So,
It's true.
but anyway, man, 18 years, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's cool to know you. Like I have the honor to know you. I've seen you at a bunch of comedy shows. Steven is the type of comic where he'll always have his laptop and any mic that I go to that I see him, he's just working away. He's always writing an essay. I don't know what like.
Well, no, I do web development. I only take it to Luna's because that's the only place I really feel safe taking it. They've got, tables and everything and
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of electrical outlets. So there's always a place for me to plug it in, free Wi-Fi.
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
I got to put in an 8-hour day. And a lot of times I don't really start till 11 and then it's kind of flexible.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, well, okay, I could go do an open mic tonight, but I also need to finish work.
Right.
So, hey, it's Luna's. I'll take my laptop, get a couple hours done while I'm waiting to go on. So,
I love it. I love it. Web development, right? That's what you do?
yeah.
Nice, nice. You also do acting, right? You're do improv and acting as well?
Yeah. And actually, improv, I would say when I first started doing that was kind of a highlight. Because I found, that's kind of like what I'm doing for material now is really more taken from my early experiences doing improv. They would have you do a monologue about some topic or something so that everybody else could get ideas to create improv scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found that doing those monologues, I'd see people starting to crack up, and I was like, I like this more than my stand-up material. So very slowly over the last, I don't know, probably 10 to 12 years, I've transitioned to just doing those monologues like that instead of any jokes.
Well, they're hilarious. So yeah, absolutely. Keep doing those. I love them. I haven't been around you long enough to have seen your original stand-up material, but maybe one day you open that bag back up. But
Maybe.
yeah. I love improv too, man. So you've been doing improv too for 10, 12 years, you said?
Yeah, here and there. I've never like really gotten into it, but I like to go over and do some of the places.
And you do it with you've done improv with a few different organizations, right? Comedy Spot, Stab. Have you worked with those two primarily, or is there any other ones too?
I think those are the primary two. I heard about another one that's going on. Forget the name of it.
Out here, yeah.
Yeah.
I've only been doing Second City. My all of my improvs have been through Zoom because I started after the pandemic.
Okay. Right.
But Second City is cool. But even Second City teachers tell me go try different schools because you learn. So like they suggested going to Berkeley, like Berkeley College of Music. They have a whole improv school that they suggested I try. But I really want to try stab and sack comedy here in person, because I have never done, like, I've done acting growing up, because that was my first, acting and music were my first entrance into this world.
Mm-hmm.
But I never did improv in person. So I'm waiting to finish the improv courses through Second City. I think there's 7 of them. I'm on the 5th one now, and then I want to come out to Sac Comedy Spot. I was going to say Sac City College, but you know, I think they have some other type of improv over there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So which one, if you had to choose, would you lean more towards stand-up or improv?
Stand-up, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
stand-up for sure. Yeah, yeah. And you were in a music video recently?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What was that one about? Tell me about that.
It's for kind of a young artist named Chloe Moriondo. I'd never heard of her before, but I guess she had 3 million followers on YouTube. I think that's increased a little bit since the video came out.
Wow.
But yeah, Raul Gonzo is a local filmmaker, and you know, he has, I think he's done a few music videos, and somehow I don't know how the whole deal came together, but he got you know, contracted, I guess, to make this music video for her. And so he cast a few local comedians in the video, and I was one of them.
Nice.
And yeah, it was pretty cool. And it's a fun little song called Fruity.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to put the link of this video in the description of this episode so everyone can see Stephen in action.
Yeah.
But was that your first music video you were part of?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Man, you helped her cross 3 million. It's all thanks to you. Did you have to dance, or were you just doing other things in the video?
Well, through most of the video, I played her grumpy boss.
Okay.
And so I didn't really do any dancing as her grumpy boss, but then at the end of the video, I get turned into a soft drink, a giant soft drink can, and I did a little bit of dancing inside the can. So
and there you go. You were like a genie, but like a modern.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I think she was the genie. She changed everybody. So.
Oh, okay. A reverse, like go back in the bottle. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's fun. Yeah. So everyone check that video out. It'll be in the description of this episode. What else does Stephen Ferris like to do? He's passionate about cars, computers. We talked about with web development, so that kind of ties in. Trains, gardening. I know he's passionate about vacuums. He talks about that on stage, but I'm not going to spoil that one. I want you guys to come out and see him talk about that in person. It's a hilarious 15 minutes. He could take it for 30 minutes. He'll talk about vacuums, and you will love every minute of it because it's how he presents it. It's beautiful, and vacuums are cool. My parents still have a vacuum from 1999 that they're still using, and it still works. And it's all taped up like a Frankenstein, but it still works.
Nice.
And my dad refuses to throw away anything, so you know, it's a Persian dad type of thing. You know, no, I fix it. It's okay. I'm like, Dad, you know, they have vacuums that are wireless now. He's like, whoa, no. He says Boro Baba, which means go away. That's what that means. Tell me about cars. What are you riding these days? What do you like about cars? Do you like going to car shows, or do you like working on cars, or what is your infatuation?
I don't know what it is. I guess I just kind of you know, got into it at some point, you know, reading car magazines, you know, and it was always new cars that were coming out, and custom cars and hot rods and things like that. I always thought were interesting. And I've just I've stayed on it. So I'm reading about everything that's coming out. and just absorb all these specs and everything like a sponge. I always think it'd be nice to have a car collection one day. I only have two right now, and I really want to limit myself to just the two. I'm always thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have that. It'd be nice to have that. But where are you going to put all this stuff? I don't want to live in a garage. So
yeah. I would love to have MTV come back and do MTV Cribs, and then they just cover your house, your crib, and your cars. What is your favorite car? Do you have one, or is it hard to say?
Yeah, that's pretty hard to say.
Yeah.
I have some different ones that I like. I mean, I really like my current car. I've got a 2016 Volkswagen GTI. That's pretty nice. Used to have a 2003 Ford Focus. And I honestly, it wasn't very fast, but there were a lot of things I liked about that car more than the GTI.
Wow. What is one thing you liked more than the GTI?
Probably the steering feel was pretty nice on that.
Right.
And it was actually the steering rack that they used in that car. I mean, any car that has a hydraulic power steering is going to have a better feel than electronic, like all the newer cars have.
Yeah.
And of course, the Focus being from 2003, it had hydraulic, so that was part of it. But I guess that steering rack was so good that they also used that on the Ford GT. It was the same part.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah. My only connection to a 03 Ford Focus is I got dumped in one of those.
Okay. Wasn't mine, I
No.
hope.
No. I didn't know you in 03. This is actually 03. Like, it was 2003. And she had a brand new 2003 Ford Focus, and she had moved on to that car and didn't need me anymore. And that's okay. I'm happy. She's happy.
They're great cars. I really like mine. I would have dumped you for my Focus.
Yeah. It has been a trend since 03, so it's cool.
Right.
Cool, man. Cars. That's I drove a. What do you think of Audis? I want to get your opinion on Audis.
I like those. I mean, I didn't used to be a Volkswagen guy, and I don't know if I am now. I sure like the GTI, but Audi, Volkswagen, it's all the same company. So
right.
So I like them.
I had an Audi, 2007 Audi for a minute, and it was a literal minute because that's how long it took till it started breaking down.
Yeah.
And I had a lot. So I don't want to stereotype, companies like, oh, this company is just known to have this and that. Like, I kind of believe, all these companies eventually will improve their problems. But any mechanic that I talk to, that works on German engineering, they say Audis are very faulty. Like they get they either get a lot of mechanical issues or their power, like a lot of power issues. But I don't know. My issue was always with the engine itself. So it was obviously a used car when I bought it. And then I sold it to a drunk guy for $5,000 cash. He just paid me $5,000 for it. Okay. And he owned 6 other ones that looked just like it. And I was like, wow, you're collecting these. And he was like, yeah, senor. He was Mexican. And then he took it and he offered me some. He actually wanted me to stop by a cerveza store on our way to his place.
All right.
I was like, okay, because he had his car, so he wanted me to bring the car over to his house. This is as interesting of a story as the vacuum story, but yours was much more much better explained. But yeah, Audis in and out. I've gone through a bunch of Nissans. Currently I drive a used Mercedes. I like Mercedes. As far as German cars are concerned, if you ask me, Mercedes to me are the most reliable. But I have never driven a Volkswagen though. I have a few friends who have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had it for 4 years now. I haven't really had any problems with it.
Did you get it new or used or?
It was used. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it in 2018.
Nice. Yeah, man. I try not to be that Persian, but I had to have a Mercedes.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah.
Which Audi did you have?
Audi. Let me remember the name. Audi something 3. It was
A3.
A3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was an A3.
Cool.
Yep. And I really got to know my mechanic well. We became friends. That's how many times I went in there.
I had a buddy that had an A3. I don't know how long he kept it. I don't know what kind of problems he ever had with it. But.
Yeah. I mean, there's some really nice Audis, like the new ones that what's that one? It's meant for speed. Like it's really
what is that? The S8?
I think it's the S8. Yeah. One of my cousins owns those. Yeah. He loves cars and he always likes this. He's a professional poker player, so anytime he wins, he just goes and buys a new car. I was like, okay, that's cool. He's also not married like me, so he can do that. Cool. So what else do you want to talk about? You want to talk about gardening or trains?
Either one's fine with me.
Okay. We can use this one as the final topic for this podcast, but why don't we talk about gardening? Because I actually have some questions and I could use your advice.
All right.
Yeah. Well, first of all, what is your lane in gardening? What do you like?
Well, I like to grow some vegetables, peppers. Peppers that you can't buy in a store usually. Some
like
weird variety. Well, I actually don't really know most of the varieties that I have because, the situation is that my mom, she's into gardening and so she starts all these seeds, beginning in the spring, and then she plants them in her garden, but she plants so many that a lot of times she ends up with extra plants that she doesn't have any room for. And so, then she'll call me up and be like, hey, Stephen, do you want some of these peppers and tomatoes? I've got, so I have to go up there and get them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I don't even know what they are. They've got labels and stuff, but I just put them in the ground and forget about it. And then I just, I'll eat whatever comes off of them. Tastes good.
You like, I'm assuming they're spicy. Some of them are really spicy.
Some of them are. She doesn't really like very spicy stuff. So most of the ones that she gets aren't that spicy. I'll plant my own seeds too. And so I have a few, spicier ones that I started. Okay. I know I have some chiltepins that they're little tiny peppers that grow in the wild and kind of the southern United States and maybe northern Mexico.
Wow.
And somebody gave my grandmother one as a gift once, as sort of like a decorative house plant.
Okay.
And then we ended up with it. And I think that one died finally. We had it for years, and then I planted it permanently in the garden, and it didn't make it through the winter. But I, had plenty of seeds left over, so I still have one that actually survived the winter last year. And then I have a bunch of new seedlings of those too. So
do you cook with these peppers too, or is it?
I've put them in a salsa before, but they're so small. It's like you really have to have a lot to make anything substantial. So that's why I'm trying to grow like more and more of them. I want to have just a ton of them where I can like go out and get like 1,000 of these little tiny peppers.
Yeah.
And make something.
My real question is, in the Sacramento heat that we've been hit with recently, How does your garden survive that? What's your trick? What's your process in getting them to stay alive?
I just water them 3 times a day.
3 times, okay.
Yeah, come out in the
Yeah.
morning and do it, and then
Yeah.
take a
See that?
15-minute break, water them again, and then later in the day.
Is there any like food or anything that you have to add, or it's just water?
I mostly just put water, and I'll dump my compost bucket out there. I did buy some fertilizer from the nursery. Went in
Mm.
there, asked them for their advice. The lady showed me the 420 blend,
Ooh.
and I was like, but this is for tomatoes, right? Not just tomatoes.
Yeah.
But she said she uses it for all kinds of stuff, even house plants, I think she said. So so I bought it. It was a little bit more expensive. Definitely helped with my popcorn. I've been growing popcorn. I think this is the 3rd year now.
Whoa.
And I planted it a little bit too late this year. So it didn't really it didn't grow very tall, and nothing was really happening. I was like, I gotta throw some fertilizer on there. So I did, and that helped.
Yeah.
But it's still much shorter than it was last year. So I need to plant earlier and then make sure I fertilize it sooner, probably.
Yeah. So as you know, I'm in Elk Grove, or maybe you didn't know, but it's depressing seeing my lawn because it's not the color that grass is supposed to be. It's very yellow. But I aerated it. I tried aerating it because I learned because the dirt was like rock solid. So I just went in there and I was just poking holes all throughout the lawn. It's not that big, but it didn't really help. But and I have the sprinklers on like in the morning, so that'll kick in. But it's actually my dad's lawn, but he has been out of the country for 6 months, so he's in for a surprise. I tried to prepare him for when he comes back. What is really annoying is that all the neighbors' lawns are green, but it's only mine, and we're all facing the same direction. So I don't know if it's the grass, if my dad went cheap on the grass that he bought, or what. But I've been trying to solve this dilemma for a while now. But my dad says once you get into the fall, it'll be fine. But
okay,
so he's not.
So it's completely dead. Or...
Yeah, there's like a couple patches of green that are starting to bloom, but otherwise, yeah.
And it's wet.
Yeah, I water it. I even water it with a hose after, like in the afternoons. But I think I got to dig really deep into the ground, right? The aeration. I bought these aeration like shoes, so they're just spikes, basically.
Just walk and then
yeah. But it was so hard that the spikes wouldn't pierce it. I'd have to really like dig hard,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's hard, I mean, that sounds like it's kind of dried out.
It is dried out. But the problem is, even after I slaved away and I like really put effort into getting holes in there at the risk of pulling my hamstring, it didn't really change much. But I think what it is these spikes were not deep enough, so I gotta like get like the longer ones. But anyway. Now the world knows I have yellow grass. So, yeah.
Well, I've been letting mine. I haven't been mowing it that much because I was reading that taller grass will help retain some of the moisture in the soil.
Okay.
And mine doesn't look great, but it's not. There's nowhere where it's like completely dead. It's kind of a mixture of golden and green.
It's got highlights.
Yeah. I think that helped letting it grow a little bit, and then I put the mower on the highest setting, so when I do mow it, it's still relatively high.
Right. Okay. I mean, I've mowed it a couple times. My dad actually asked me not to mow it, which is because he said, let the grass die, like the old grass, and then you mow it like after like 6 months, and then the new comes in. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a gardener, clearly. So,
Yeah, I'm not either. I just like doing it.
I don't even like doing it. I have to,
Okay.
because my dad's house. I'm watching it for him. So
Yeah.
my parents' house. Well, cool, man. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Are you going to Comedy Spot tonight?
Probably not. I got this project in the garage I'm trying to finish up,
Okay, cool.
and it's huge. It just gets bigger and bigger. So,
Yeah,
you
I feel
I'll
that,
just try
man.
to work on that.
Cool, man. When are you going to the Bay again?
I think I'm going to go next Sunday. I know it's Comedy Day.
Over
Down
there?
there, yeah, in the park. There's like a Robin
Oh, yeah.
Williams lawn, and they're going to do Comedy Day. 40 comics get up and perform.
Anu told me about that, and I think I'm
Yeah.
coming to that. I think Anu told
Okay.
me, yeah. So I'll be there too, man. That's cool. Robin Williams, he's one of my heroes. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was hoping to go to Punchline. Now I found out about this. I'm like, well, everybody's going to go to this and then try to go to Punchline afterwards. It's going to be crazy. So I don't know if I want to pack myself in there, but
Yeah.
we'll
That's
see.
true. With the rise of because San Francisco is being hit with a lot of these viruses too. They're getting it worse than we are.
Mm,
Monkeypox is spreading like crazy over there.
yeah.
Is the Punchline just the mic, or is it a show usually?
Well, it's a show. I mean, it's not pre-booked, but the way it works is you go, your first time, you introduce yourself to the people who run it.
Yeah.
And then, they'll tell you the deal. Basically, you're going to go, as often as you can for about 6 months or so. And, it could be up to a year, but then, they'll probably put you on.
No.
And, depending on how you do, maybe I think it's typically every 6 months or so that you get up a couple
Gotcha.
times a year.
I see. Yeah, man, that's on my list of things to join you on.
Okay.
My first time, I did my first set at the Hearth, or the Hearth. I can't pronounce it because I wasn't born here. HEARTH. It's the Godfrey's Reality Check. I don't know if you've ever done that mic out there.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it was fun. Meredith was the host. I think she's the one who puts it together, and it was cool. I went on there last Saturday. Kendra came with me, and it was cool. And that's a good crowd. It's a bar and a little stage in the corner. But yeah, I want to get out there more, man. So we'll be in touch about that. Plug your socials away and your abbreviated version on Twitter.
Okay.
So, yeah, let everyone know, and we can wrap this one up.
Okay. I got to say them again.
Just say 'em
What do you guys want to do? That's on Instagram. And I think Facebook is a what do you guys want to do? And then same with the TikTok. And then Twitter is just what do you want to do? And that's all the socials. And then, of course, the what do you guys want to do.com for the website. Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. Stephen Ferris, the man, 18 years in the game and still going strong. I'm Pej the Maniac. This has been Fumble Podcast, episode 81. 81, guys. I love it. It's getting better. I'm working, improving it a little bit every time. And it's allowed me the opportunity to talk to awesome people like Stephen Ferris right here. Make sure you subscribe. Give me a super thanks. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you, Stephen.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.